What's up, YouTube? My name is Kenneth. Today we have a interview of Feliks Zemdegs, and if you remember, I did this Let's Race video that you're seeing right now with Feliks. He's the fastest cuber in the world. He solved 10 cubes, and we tried to find out how many cubes he would solve in the time it would take us to solve one. For me, it took 3 cubes, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And in this video, I asked him a couple questions, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and here's Feliks. So Feliks, I heard you just got back from South Africa, and you went to one competition or multiple competitions?
2 competitions.
2? Yeah. Okay, cool. So how did they go, and did you break any records?
Didn't break any records in South Africa. I broke a couple this weekend actually in Australia, but no, South Africa was really fun. They flew me and Mats over there for 2 competitions, the one in Johannesburg and then Cape Town, and they were the 2nd and 3rd competitions ever in South Africa. So there were about 90 or 95 competitors at both, but at each competition, but a lot of them were really beginner cubers, so it was interesting to see that sort of dynamic. You know, everyone's doing a minute and a half solves, whereas compared to back home, everyone does, 15, 20 seconds. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Cool.
But it was cool.
So what records did you set back home at the competition in Australia?
I got the one-handed average and the 5x5 average.
So what were the times? What was your average?
11.72 and 54.20. So it's
wow.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I was happy with those ones.
So do you know how many records you actually currently hold?
I think it's 4. Just
4?
Yeah.
Oh, only 4.
3x3 average, 5x5 single average, and one-handed average. Yeah.
Cool. Very good. So I asked on Facebook for some questions to ask you, and I've got a couple here. So one guy, Francisco, asked, how did you feel after you got the 5.33 DNF?
I get this question a lot. I don't know. I was a bit annoyed at the time. I was like, oh well. And then later on that night, I was a bit more annoyed. Actually, I was like, oh damn, I actually could have had the world record if it wasn't for one thing. But no, it's all right. I've got plenty more chances to break it.
Yeah. Cool. Craig asked, how old were you when you learned to solve the Rubik's Cube, and what kind of got you into cubing? Who got you into cubing?
I was 12 years old when I first started, like speed cubing, I guess. I was just on YouTube one day and I came across like some speed cubing videos, and like up until that point I'd always thought, the Rubik's Cube was impossible or like really difficult to solve, and I saw people doing it in like 10 seconds. So that was really, really intriguing to me. So I bought a cube and learned how to solve it.
Cool. How did you learn? What did you find online?
I used Dan Brown's Pogo Bats tutorial. Yeah.
Cool. And then when you started speed cubing, what did you learn to learn? F2L and all that.
I think I mostly learnt from YouTube videos. A particular one would be Bad Mephisto.
Yeah, his tutorials are great. And
he's probably the most popular.
Cool.
And the best for learning like Friedrich,
And it's amazing that they're kind of old right now, but they're still really good.
Exactly. Everyone still uses the same sort of stuff, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people have asked how you've been able to achieve these really fast times, and so we were wondering how often do you practice, and what do you kind of look for when you're practicing to help improve even further?
How often do I practice? I pretty much practice like every day. On average, like some days I would practice heaps, some days maybe I wouldn't touch a cube, and that's not too common. On average, maybe 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes. And in terms of what I actually do, for events that I've been practicing for years and years, I really just sit down and solve it. I don't really, learn any new algorithms or analyze my solves or anything. But at the start, when I was starting cubing and just improving, then I would be learning algorithms and, looking for ways to improve and looking up, like example solve videos on YouTube and trying to make my solves more efficient. But now I just sit down and solve. Yeah.
Cool. So Alex on Facebook asked, what's your favorite non-WCA puzzle?
Ooh. I don't know. I only really do WCA puzzles. I like the mirror blocks. That can be fun.
Yeah, I like that one. That is a fun puzzle. Very cool. So Sienna asked, how fast can you solve using the beginner's method?
It depends what beginner's method. If you're just talking about like for loop last layer, as opposed to like doing the cross, then the corners, then PLL in 2 steps, I could probably do it in like 15 seconds.
15
but with
seconds?
like a Dan Brown method,
Yeah, like
I
Dan
could probably
Brown
do like
method.
20 seconds maybe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So also a bunch of people also asked about like the limits of speed cubing,
Right.
and so I was wondering, what do you think your personal limits are? Do you think you'll ever beat the 5.55 in competition? And then where do you think the limits are in general?
I think next year, not necessarily by me, but definitely by like someone, the 5.55 will be broken.
Cool.
Like plenty of people have kind of come pretty close this year. Lots of people have got like sub 6 very recently as well. So next year it should be broken by someone. Could be Mats again, who knows. But in terms of speed cubing limits, I don't know. I think it's definitely approaching some sort of limit. Like I've only improved, a couple of tenths of a second this year. So I would say at a global average, maybe like low 6 seconds is possible. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So let's see. So David asked, do people recognize you on the streets?
No, not really. No.
So no one's ever said, "Hey, look, you're that guy who solves really quick." No one said anything like
actually,
that.
one time at like a train station, some guy just asked me if I'm Felix, and he's seen my videos on YouTube or something. But no, not in public at cubing competitions.
Yeah, at cubing competitions, I can believe that. And so I guess the last question I have from Facebook is from Chris, and he wants to know how you feel about being on Moyu's packaging.
Ooh, interesting question.
Did you tell them that was okay, or did they do that without asking? How'd that go down?
Yeah, so it's a long story. Not particularly happy at the moment. So the deal was last year, I think it was. They had like some sort of prize where if you break the world record with a Moyu cube, we'll give you this amount of money. I think it was like $1,500 US.
Yeah.
So like fair enough. Like I've got the world record average with like a way long or something. So then they're like, okay, in order to give you this, 1,500 or something, can we just have a couple of like promotional photos, I guess. But I really had no idea like what they would be using them for, and they didn't say like specifically, oh, we're going to put you on the boxes or something. I thought they would maybe make something on their website with me and the prize, I guess. But it turns out they use them on every single box, so I'm sure they got their money's worth for that one. So I'm gonna try and contact them and see if I don't know if they can.
So
yeah,
they kind of took it further than you expected.
Yeah, I think so. They've definitely sort of overused it, in my opinion. But it's alright.
Hey, well, Felix, I really want to thank you for being on this video, and
no
I really appreciate it. And anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching these videos, and that's it. So thanks guys for watching, and of course, have a great day.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Again, I want to thank Felix for coming on my channel. Definitely check out his channel and subscribe if you want. He's got some great tutorials. Might as well learn from the best. And if you haven't seen our Let's Race video, definitely check it out. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.